Nyakwa, Nyaka. Welcome and hello. Wow, very wonderful turnout. I'm honoured first to be able to attend this prestigious event, first of its kind and hopefully many of its kind. Truth telling is very important. First of all, I'd like to pay respects to my elders past, present and emerging. I'd also like to thank you for joining me on Gunditjmara Country, the country of my people, my home. Truth telling started here today with the walk. So proud. One of the most amazing things about truth telling is the stories we share, the journey that you're embarking upon till the 18th, and many stories will be shared.
Welcome to those who have travelled far and wide and have come all across the nation to walk for truth. The time, the effort and the energy of everyone here is a powerful testament to our shared commitment to truth, healing and creating a more just future for all. Standing here on country, surrounded by community and feeling the weight of history and the strength of our ancestors. This is where the colonial experiment began. In 1834, this is where the Henty brothers illegally established the first permanent European settlement in what would become Victoria. This marked the beginning for many, but for Aboriginal peoples, it was the end of the world as our people knew it for tens of thousands of years. Wherever there are setbacks or rejections, we have continued to move forward the only way you can, by putting one foot in front of the other. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing in this walk for truth. Together, this is what we are doing here today, taking the next steps together. We've heard the talk. It's now time for the walk. I carry with me the voices of those who came before the Yoorrook Justice Commission and walk alongside those who are committed, like many of you here, to building a better shared future together. One that is filled with equity, prosperity, and a deep respect for truth, justice, and the enduring spirit of First Peoples. May the ancestors watch over us and guide us, because the true path forward starts here. Let's go. Let's walk for truth.
This is what you must learn, and this is where it starts. So when we deliver smoking ceremonies, we don't just do smoking. We talk about the importance, the significance. We have a very strong Gunditjmara woman in key today. I would like to acknowledge and highlight all she's done for us. Thank you.
You know, so and there are it's still I wanted to acknowledge my countrymen and women here today in Gunditjmara and Yoorrook people. I want to thank my Auntie Claudette for a deadly welcome to Marine. My Auntie Claudette is my mum's first cousin. I also wanted to thank everyone who has chosen to participate in the Walk for Truth, because you fellas could have been anywhere today, but you chose to be here on Marine with us. And that really speaks to your humanity. And that's the reason why we're here today. I want to be so clear and so direct when I say, on behalf of my grandfather, and with the authority through my mother attending today, and as my birthright of a black matriarch, like my grandmother's Auntie Femi Day, who was a Lovett, and Auntie Frances Matheson, who was a Briggs, those in power, not only read and politely note these recommendations that our kin Travis Lovett and the commissioners are going to be handing you fellas, please adopt the recommendations and the findings in the final report as a matter of urgency and humanity. To the left is what is known as the ploughed fields, which refers to the site where the first sod of soil in what is known as Victoria was turned in December of 1834, around 3 weeks after the Henties chose to colonise country, and they chose to squat here. I know Trav made it sound very nice that they were illegally occupying, which is true, but they're squatters. That leaves the monument and the whale boiler in our view to speak. The same whale boiler that was used to break down the carcasses of whales caught, but also of Gunditjmara people. People like me, people like you, and people like us.
My name is Jaden. I'm playing Yoorrook Gunditjmara. This is Yoorrook Country. You're walking for truth. It's a chance to talk for truth too. Why is truth important? Truth changes the story about this land that you were told for the past 100 odd years. When we speak about what happened at this place, and you're talking birthplace of Portland, 1834. What we know is a massacre that happens on this side here. A massacre with 2 remaining survivors of the Yoorrook Gunditj. From that massacre, you have the beginnings of frontier wars out here from 1835 to 1865. How detrimental were those things? Well, when we consider it, point of contact with the Henties, there were 59 clans that made up Gunditjmara Country. If you think of the borders of the Glenelg River, the Wannon River, the Hopkins River, 59 clans. By the time we get to 1867, reduced to 9. You can either accept the truth or be left behind. But you can't call settling in Australia when there's nothing settled for me about frontier wars. 51 clans missing from the history books. But with truth, we also change the game for how we see ourselves. As well as talking to this space, talking to a lot of Gunditj country and how we change the game with truth. I consider myself, when I finished in 2001, finished high school in 2001, one of a handful, maybe 50, 60 Aboriginal kids in Victoria, completing year 12. We weren't told to be intelligent. We weren't meant to be intelligent. You want to be a successful black man? Nicky Winmar, Derek Kickett, Michael Long, Lionel Rowe. But by speaking the truth back into these spaces, and while we're taking people down Butchbin, down Lake Conda, showing them the meal traps, we start to see a landscape which shows ourselves, the scientists, engineers, medicine men and women, singers, dancers, all of this. Truth may not be important to some people, but it's important to us because we get to see ourselves again.
We're about to hand over a report, and this is the culmination of walking over 400 kilometres to hand over a report and recommendations for change and transformation. But another untold, thing that doesn't really get the profile, which is we get to write an official public record for the first time, written in our voice as Victorian traditional owners. A lot of non-Victorian blackfellas have written about us, but this is our chance to write about us. Elevating stories like Brother Boys here and Sister Girls around the monuments and how they continually impact our people's lives. It's just, incredibly, overwhelming as I'm sitting here crying, talking to you, Mom. Seeing the young ones, seeing the young mob, not just our mob, but all the young ones also walking as well. But all different ages, groups of people coming and walking, travelling so far to be here as well, to hear the story. Of the fight in Gunditjmara, and we'll hear other mob stories as well. It's incredibly important, and I'm appreciative of everyone coming together, making their time and the effort.
I'm Michael Mukai Bell, Gunditjmara. We're out at the part of the Gunditjmara Nation is the Karray mob, water people, and this is Karray Country. We're at the Yoorrook Centre, Cultural Centre, which has been established by our people to provide experiences for all to experience the Gunditjmara story.
Trailblazing, and Auntie Laura, you should be so proud of yourself in developing such leadership in your children.
I taught him everything.
One of the things I think we need to do more is raise the importance for our mob to get involved and start the conversations of what treaty means to you and what it means to you, for yourself, your family and your community. You need to get your families involved with the traditional owner groups. It's important that you have a voice at that table and set the direction that you want to go. And for allies, it's important that you think about the joint opportunities that treaty brings. Whether it's a service agreement with Johnny Bell at Windamara or with Gunditjmara as part of a joint venture, that's what treaty can actually bring. And so I think once the first treaty is signed, that door is open and the opportunities are there for you all to take.
It's good that it's happening, but it's sad that it's taken so long for this to come. I mean, who in 2025 we have to walk all this way, or we have to do this commission to tell the truth? Our country was invaded, our people were slaughtered, and we've been disempowered ever since that. And even when we win native title, the change that comes about with that is only very limited. So I don't know what else we can do, but I guess we still got to keep trying. And yeah, I want to acknowledge that you're here today and you want to seek the truth. I think it's a good opportunity to do this process, considering the outcome from the referendum. That was really hard to take. So it'll be good to change that narrative into something positive, like walk the truth. And that's all we ask. We just ask for the truth.
Know me, I'm Joey Saunders. I'm the General Manager here. I'm a proud Gunditjmara man on my father's side, and a proud man from Monero and Navigo. That's my mum's side, about the Osco Mountains. So I like to say I've got two best parts of the country on my side, so I'm pretty proud of that. But I'm pretty proud of this place here. It's been 4.5, going over 4 years now. And to have this, it's the resilience and fight that all of my elders, our elders, community leaders have done to provide this sort of area here, or this place, the Yoorrook Cultural Centre.
These were situated right across Gunditjmara Country. And I think, where the mobs moved to different places at different times of year as well. So again, the door would be, I guess, moved kind of strategically for that time of year, because they were moving around. It wasn't just, that like, you might think about nomadic, but actually nomadic in the context of they were moving around the different landscape. But yeah, another 1.2 kilometres of fish traps. So these things went for Ks and Ks and Ks. So just goes to show again the mob, strategically manipulating the landscape to be sustainable. As I was saying before, I think I probably said it after people left, which was the reason why also downstream as well was the fish traps were built in a way so eels naturally can't swim backwards, but the little ones were able to go through, and they were sent downstream to be further fattened up in holding ponds. So they actually blocked the water off so they were held, and then they were fed to actually feed them on and so forth as well. So again, complex systems, but also feed multiple mobs along the way. That's the thing. Like this is the, what we want to show about our people, not just the culture and the traditions and the smoking ceremonies, which are incredibly important, but also the kindness and the sense of humour and the humility that our people have as well. We have been through a number of significant amount of traumas as well, and I can't shy away today that today is National Sorry Day as well, and we do have members, sorry to bring this up for their mob as well, but we do have members of Stolen Generations right here standing with us. I won't point the finger at them, but they know who they are, and I see them, and I feel them, and I'm as well, and want to recognise them as well, because we can't fully imagine what it was like in their lived experience as well. Incredibly important that we don't skip over those days, but you walk with us on a significant day, and this is one of the significant days, building on the foundations that we did yesterday as well. So, it's incredibly important that we reflect. And I think this is something we do as Aboriginal people every day. It's part of our culture. We have deep reflections, and we deeply listen. We don't hear. I can hear the car running in the background, but I'm not listening to it. I'm engaged and listening. But it's a really important point, right? Deep listening, and we hear. There's a depth to the hearing and listening and engaging. And when you listen, you can then respond. And I think that's something that's incredibly important, just like the word understanding. We're not about educating people. This walk's not about educating people. It's about getting people to understand our people's lived experience in the state of Victoria. Again, with the depth of word understanding as well. So, you have turned up today, and I appreciate that. And I know you have turned up at other events as well, because I can feel that positive spirit. But also, I'm encouraging people to continue to walk with us, and also have those dinner time conversations with people. Be courageous. We don't have to wait for leadership to show leadership, and also as well, just because people have senior roles, it's not about leadership, about them in leadership roles. We can all play a leadership role in our family microcosm, and what that looks like for everyone is incredibly different. So again, we walk lightly on country today and every day, but we had really strong conversations about what we expect to see in our future as well, and that's another part of our culture. We walk lightly on country, but we always talk strong for country, and we talk strong for people. The big vision in these recommendations around how we want to see change for everybody, for everyone's children, for everyone's future, kids and so forth as well. This is about generations to come, and this is how we start to change the landscape and the cultural fabric of the state of Victoria as well. So again, I thank you all for coming out yesterday and today, because I see very many similar faces as well. Your support is definitely not lost on me. I see you, and I feel your energy and connected to you. And let's carry on the yarns and the conversations, and let's continue to walk forward.